And for coloring, what I used to use, at least what I always use for the Morocco blue bowls, is I use an airbrush and I put the chestnut dyes into the airbrush and I spray it. And when I get done, I have to clean my airbrush. Well, for that little hunk of wood, and spending 20 minutes cleaning and disassembling and reassembling my airbrush, it really doesn't seem worth it. So I was looking for an alternative, and I remembered that I was in a class at SWAT, and Alan Zenrick and his wife were demonstrating, and she had a Coptic marker. What I'm using now is called a Coptic Airbrush. It looks like this. And it comes in several versions. This top piece here holds a Coptic marker. This is just a can to attach here and attach the hose for the small compressor that I use for the airbrush. You can also replace this with just a can of air. So there's two different versions of this. You can buy the kit. I think it's kit 1, which is this piece and a can of air, or kit 3, which is this piece and this piece here, so you can hook it up to your airbrush. So this is what I use. This is a Coptic marker, and you use the large end of this, and you simply slide the marker into the airbrush. There's a little silver tip down here that you can see that's going to blow air across that tip and onto the wood. So let me show you how it works. Real easy. Just like that. I pull the airbrush out. I've got it out of there. I put the cap back on. I don't have anything to clean. And if I decide I want to use another color, I can put the other airbrush or the other Coptic marker in and change colors just that fast. So this was a game changer for me. I don't have to worry about cleaning an airbrush. All I do is change markers and I'm good to go. This is Hampshire Sheen white embellishing wax, and it's got a lot of mica powder in it. So once you get it in there, it really starts to pop. I'll put just a little bit on here, and we'll rub that around. And all that spiraling work that we did is now just going to pop. Now what I'll usually do is I'll put a quick coat of lacquer on that, let it dry, and finish parting it off, and then put about 3 more coats of lacquer off while it's laying flat on the table before I finish the back. Finishing the back is not terribly difficult. There's several ways to do it. I'll show you a couple of them. I've got a little jig that I made. This is just a recess, so I can put it on the chuck. And I've got some double stick tape on there. And you want to put some pressure on that and let it set for 10 or 15 minutes before you start trying to turn it. And I usually just take a scraper ratio back on. We're just going to smooth this back off. Okay, we'll get that smoothed off. And we can do a little sanding if we want to. I usually like to take the spiraling tool or the tri-tip tool, put a few rings on the back, like that, kind of decorate that up a little bit. And then I usually get this off and put the dye on it when it's just laying on a paper towel afterwards. Yes?
I presume you're going at end grain, right?
Yes, this is all end grain. Exactly. You can, it doesn't make any difference. You can do this either end grain or side grain. It really doesn't make a lot of difference. And we'll put another little piece on. So let me show you a little bit how I do the Starry Night series. That's the black one with all the, looks like it's in the middle of the night. We're going to start with the same spiraling tool, the small sorbet tool. And we're going to get this speed down again. And we'll start with that spiral in the middle. That came out right. And then we're going to take a large spiraling tool that I use for sorbet. And it's got that double-ended piece on it that's got that real sharp fine points. And we're going to take that and we're going to go in right at the edge of that spiral. Run a little bit through it. And I don't define any of that. So that one's done. Well, guess I better get that part off. So. Speed up a little bit. I just want to get that corner off. Okay, this time we're going to do a black background. These Coptic airbrushes are about $8–9 at most places. And the cool thing about them is they're refillable. All you have to do is buy the refill bottle, pull this end piece out, tip it up and use the refill. The refill will fill that pen 12 times. And the refill is $8. So it becomes very cheap to refill these Coptic markers. So you don't have to go out and buy a new one when you run out of ink. Okay, we'll do a little black. And we'll get the side done a little bit. And we pull the marker out, put the cap on, nothing to clean. And we'll get our embellishing wax back out. Yeah, I usually let this dry 5 or 10 minutes, but I think it's dry enough that we can do this now. And there we are. We've got that swirl in the middle with all the stars around it. And that comes out real pretty.